Alright, so today I'm going to go over a submission series from the mount, specifically no-gi, and all these submissions are going to come off a series using the head pin or a headlock from mount. So to establish the head pin, I'm going to take one of my arms and I'm going to come deep underneath my opponent's head here. I usually like to use my left arm because since I'm right-handed, I want to keep my right arm free in order to use my arm or my hands to isolate limbs, neck, what have you for submissions. So I use my left arm. I try to get as deep as possible underneath my opponent's head. So I want basically her neck, her head resting in the crook of my elbow. I don't want it loose, I want it just nice and deep here. So you have to use my hand and push it all the way over to the crook of my arm, then do that. Since I've trapped this side of the arm, I am more easily able to be rolled that direction because again, I trapped this side of the body. So if I don't put my weight in the appropriate position, I can be rolled that way. Since again, I trapped my own arm. So in order to mitigate that, I need to shift my body over to the opposite side that I have pinned. So from here, I start shifting my body over. As you can see here, I'm using my shoulder to drive into the jaw area of my opponent, which turns my opponent's head to the opposite direction that they want to roll me. So one, it again prevents me from being rolled that way, and two, it helps minimize or prevent her movement. So again, I drive the shoulder over so my head is opposite where I'm pinned. This arm's out here at a 45-degree angle that prevents me from being rolled this way. In order to escape, she needs to do one of two things, and to do an elbow knee escape. One of the options is putting either hand on the hip or elbow inside the knee between my knee and her ribs. As soon as I feel that I need to address it, I'll take my free hand, which is my right hand. I will come and grab and cusp the back of the elbow here and pull up. As soon as I pull up, I just created space. I'm going to take that space away by walking my knees up to prevent her from getting her elbow back to her body or between my knee and her ribs. As soon as I lift up, I'm taking my hand, take the back of my hand, drop it down right behind her elbow in her tricep area, and I drive my palm to the ground. I start to walk my hand up. So I don't just use my hand. If someone's real strong, I'm not going to be able just to use my fingers to crawl up. I'm going to use my whole body to bring the hand over to the side of her ear. So her bicep now is on the side of her ear. So in order to keep this position, I'm going to use this free hand, or my left hand here that's underneath the head, to grab the tricep area. This hand is going to come down to the elbow and I'm going to push it against the side of her face as I drive my head down to the side of her tricep, all the way down to her delt and against the mat. From here, I'm going to use this hand palm up, this other hand that's behind her head palm down. I'm going to windshield wiper my leg over to a temporary knee on belly. This allows me, if she tries to turn into me or turn away from me, this allows me to control her, flatten her back out. Once she's flattened back out, I will then remove my knee on belly and I lay next to her at a 45-degree angle. I'm not right next to her here, I'm at a 45-degree angle. This elbow here, I'm going to bring in close to my body, and I'm going to start turning my body, my chest into my opponent just slightly as I use my toes here to drive into her neck area as I'm also simultaneously squeezing until you get the tap. It's also important to note that this shoulder is underneath the jaw area. If it's up above here, you might not be able to hit the carotid as well. So you might need to adjust your weight and sink down until you can feel your shoulder drop below the jaw. So again, from here, I start to turn in. So I'm kind of like rolling onto my elbow as I drive into her neck area and as I squeeze. So from the beginning, grab the elbow, pick it up, walk my hand, use my whole body, trap it, drop, knee on belly, 45-degree angle, elbow in, walk below the jawline, turn in, squeeze, push in. And that's the head and arm choke from mount using the head pin position.